Hi Flosstube, it's Janet with Janet Jabber. I'm coming at you with episode 186. If you're a returning friend, thank you so much for stopping by again this week to check out what we've got going on here. And if you're a new friend, I hope you like what you see. Subscribe, comment, do the YouTube things, all the things. We have already, it's wild over here. So first of all, I had somebody ask last week if I would show Opie. He had his grooming appointment last week. So he's all fresh and fluffed. They do trim him up. I've only started taking him there probably 4 or 5 times, but his hair is doing so much better going through to the groomer. And then I have my cat jumping up over here, so we'll see how much of a ruckus he makes. And my good dog is in there laying on the couch. So let's jump in. You're here to hear the cross stitching, not all the wild adventures at the house for now. I do talk about that at the end. All right, so some exciting news that I have to share with you. You have heard me mention her here often on the cat tail often on my channel, and that is Bobby from Pumpkin Creek Primitives. She has a website, she has YouTube, she has the things. So she's a joy to watch. She'll tell you she can be a hot mess express. I just love Bobby. I've met her personally. But so we are working together. Basically we are, I'm stumbling over my words. I'm so excited to tell you this. So if you go to Pumpkin Creek Primitives website, which will be in my description box below, and I'll put the web address here, she is now offering a Janet Jabber 15 discount code on her patterns on her website. So I'm excited to do that. She also has more exciting stuff in the works. So stick around for that and check out her website if you're in the market for some patterns, and also stay tuned for other exciting things that are coming. So definitely more to come on that. But I do want to do some regular business on here. But so in the description box below, besides finding Bobby's link, there are other links there. One of them is my Happy Mail form. So if you'd like a chance to receive a random Happy Mail, which I send out Happy Mail once a month. How many times can I say that in one sentence? Please fill out the Google form in the box below. For that, there's also a Buy Me a Coffee and a Ko-fi link, and those are there just in if you would like to support the channel in regards to giveaways and mailings. But nonetheless, we still do those. So, all right, first I want to jump into one of the favorite segments on this channel, and that is my featured friend. So I am going to be popping a picture in here of Sharon's work. Sharon has worked on Chester's Place, which if you have been here for a while, you know that I did this and I made a small modification. She said she was inspired by me to work on Chester's Place and make it different. So she used a 36 count antique white linen. She used DMC. Some of it called for and some of it of her choice to personalize it for herself, just like I did. So very exciting. I love that, Sharon. Thank you so much for sharing. So many people love this part of the video, and I love bringing it to you. It shows you different stitching and whatnot. So along with that, somebody had asked me in regards to a question. I'm going to pull it out. This is a previously finished, and I'm jumping around a tiny bit because I do have one other thing to do. But I had a question in regards to my Dreaming Girl that I had just recently shown, because they said that I showed it and they were like, that's literally what they were working on. So they had a question about the leaves. So if you see these leaves that are hanging down in the hair, the question was, did I use 1 strand or 2 strands, and did I do a long stitch or a standard back stitch? I used 1 strand and I did a long stitch. If you can see, hopefully you can see what we got going on. I thought it just looked more defined to do the long stitch in this piece. And to be honest with you, it depends from pattern to pattern how I do things. I just go with what feels right at the time. But I hope that helps you, and have fun stitching that. That was a super fun stitch for me. All right, back to a little bit of business, and that is I had giveaways in my last episode. So the winners are here. Oops, sorry, I got Opie. He's still hanging out on my lap. The very first chart, Live Well, goes to Brett Warren. The second chart, it's a shepherd's bush, and it goes to Valerie Bolin. And the third chart, a Luminous Fiber Arts Friendship Series, goes to a Daniela Descan. I've put everyone's names here. Hopefully, I know that I messed that last name up. Bad, sorry. But if you could get me your email, your mailing address, if you can send it to janetjabber@gmail.com, I can get those sent out to you, and we'll be moving along with those giveaways. So, all right, you're here for the stitching, and I have stitching to share this week. I had a great week of stitching. I have a finish to share with you, which I am so excited about. This was my focus this week, and I knew that I would pull it off. And let's show it to you. This is all, I did this last time too, where can't remember the designer. This is Stitching Through the Years, and this is the Spring is Coming Mini Quaker. And that cat has decided to lay right where I need to put stuff. And it is a finish. My dog thinks I'm hitting it. Oh my gosh, guys. Yeah, we got the things. All right, it is a finish. I love these little Quakers. For me, super quick stitch. I say that, but it's still like 6 days. Let me see. Let me count it real quick. 7 days if you count the small start that I had previously. So a 7-day stitch. Not too shabby, not too bad. I'm going to share something with you that you would never know if I didn't tell you. I ran out of one of the week's dye works, and I didn't have time to go to the store, so I just pulled the DMC equivalent to it. And as you take a gander here, I'm going to point it out to you. These two birds and this vase are in the DMC equivalent of what is stitched around. And in reality, it's the dark part of what that original variegated week's dye works was, but you wouldn't even know if I didn't tell you. So sometimes you just got to go with what works. And for me, that's what was going to work this week for me to pull in a finish. I didn't want to press pause on that. I wanted to get it finished. So that is my finish for the week. Not the week. It just happened this week. So I'm looking around to get my bearings. So I'm going to show you my whips, my works in progress. My first one, if you recall, I stitch on my queen every single day, 30 minutes a day. This is Spring Queen by Mirabilia, stitched on a 28 count white tee by Collar and Cotton. I don't know why this cat thinks it needs to be up here and in my way. And then like, if I was to push it over, it'll knock my whole tower over. All right, this is where I'm at on my Spring Queen. I am so excited to tell you, I reached bottom. So that ribbon is all the way at the bottom. I jinxed myself. If you recall, I had the dark version of everything in here done. So I stitched up in here, this, and then the light stitching all through here I did. And yep, I had to rip out this little tiny section, so not much, was up by 1 row too many. So I had to rip it out and go back in and stitch, but still plugging away. I'm telling you, so many of you are like, you're getting so close, and I am, and I just keep plugging away. So, that is exciting, exciting news for me. And I will try to create a different pile that my cat won't knock down. My next stitch that I work on this for 1 strand a day, kinda. I get really excited about it, and I just still kind of dig in a little bit. This is my Teresa Cook Wilbur. Wilbur is so cute. It is so fun to stitch this little guy. I just can't even. Wait till you see. I mean, like, I was determined to kind of outline Wilbur. Look, even this fabric is perfect. I don't know what it is right now, but it's perfect that it looks like a pig pen, a little muddy and a mess. I love it. So yeah, more on the ears, and I came down his body. So other than the border, which goes around, other than 2 stitches down, I'm down to the bottom. I'm not to the top because it goes up, if you remember for the pattern, it goes up quite a bit with the black. Because I'm going to put a little spider in the corner for Charlotte's Web for my Wilbur. So he is so cute and fun to stitch. And those blends it's not blends, but those threads that she picked are amazing and perfect for that. The next stitch I stitched on, and this one is going away. This was part of I don't think this was Whipco. It was not my Whipco. I don't know. I'm talking to you about The River by Modern Folk Embroidery. I wanted to get that frame done, and just before I show it to you, you'll notice that my frame is short by 2 up here because I'm making a change in this pattern, but I got the border done, it all matched up, and we are moving on to like the goodness of like stitching it, starting to do some of the fun stitching. This is a long-term project, so it is probably going away for a little bit, but probably because I got burnt out on border stitching, which is done, but I know I just talked myself out of things. So this is the full piece of what it's going to look like. The change I'm going to make is across the top. Once I figure it out, I'm going to put my maiden name of Hirschberger and then stitch the rest of it just like it's called for. The reason that it calls for me so much in regards to my maiden name, I don't know that I've said this in regards to here before, but according to my maiden name and according to research, my genealogy is Swiss German. And this says the river that flows in you also flows in me. And I tell everyone, and this probably sounds weird to people, but I tell everyone that makes me think of blood. The blood that flows through me also has flown through my ancestors. So it's just, this is the commemorative piece I want to do for my Hirschberger, and I love it. And that's what matters. I love it. And I think it works perfect. So that is that stitch. I have another stitch that I'm pushing hard on to get finished because the next ones are being mailed out, I believe today. But so fingers crossed I get this finished this week. But I'm talking about, I got in on the club for hands-on designs gathering. So gathering round. So the 3 pieces I'm still working on are gathering wildflowers, and I have a finish, a partial, and a not started. So let's just dig in and show you what I got here. So as I'm trying to, this opie dope. That's what I call him, guys, opie dope. The first one that I have finished is the one that had the 1/1 that I chose to do it 1/1. You had an option. So gathering wildflowers, that one's done. And then the next one I'm working on in that little series is the house. I'm making good progress on that. If I come at you next week and I have all 3 of them done, I would be so excited. So that is definitely something, I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit, plans, but that is definitely something I'm planning on working on this week. So my next piece that I have to show you, I do a Mill Hill Monday. So my Mill Hill Monday right now is I love, and this is the chart, what it'll look like. This is where I'm at. I am done with the floss stitching on it. So I will be moving on to beading, which for me is very exciting. So looks good, but it comes together with the beads. So that is very exciting. So that will be being worked on, of course, this week. My next one is a tiny little finish, but not full finished yet because I still have 6 days to go. I am working on Wicked Wednesday. I work on Halloween Calendar by the Tiny Modernist, and I have finished now number 24. That little witch's hat is perfect. That shading is amazing. I love stitching on this. So my next one is a sexy little skeleton, I believe. Yeah. So for Fridays, I do Festive Fridays, and currently my Festive Friday is a Christmas stitch. I had someone say that this looks like a fun stitch. It is a super fun stitch. This is by Hands On Design also, Cranberry Christmas, and this is where I'm at. So this week I outlined, or I shaded, the green that's in all these letters is what I did this week on my Festive Friday. So I'm ready to jump in down here on the bottom and get moving through that. I enjoy these things. I know that Amy Loves Toads also jumps in on Festive Friday. So feel free. If you like the theme, feel free. I know there's so much going out there, so many other like themed days and stuff like that. But if you feel so inclined, just jump in. And I don't, like, that whole day is not dedicated to that. When I do those Mill Hill Monday, Wicked Wednesday, Festive Friday, I usually dedicate about an hour-ish to stitching on that piece, or to a point where I'm excited about like stopping there. So that's how I do it. And that's my stitching for this week. That's it, which was still a lot. I'm very, very happy for. I did get better stitching time this week, and life is just calm. I mean, the weather outside makes it pulls you out. I did do a few WALKs. You know, I can't say that word because he'll come tap, tap, tap. But I'm a fair weather walker, so when it's nice, I try to get out there and do that. But like when it feels like the second winter is coming, I won't be out there today. But all right, let's move into plans. I kind of mentioned that already. My gathering wildflowers. I'd love to come at you with those done for next week. I'm feeling the call for Bluebirds of Happiness by JBW Design, so that will definitely be in the arsenal for this week of what I want to stitch on. I need to still get a berry and a stocking done this month, so we'll see where I get on that, which one I dabble into. Probably the berry, because that's already a little started. I'm still prepping for Mental Health May. I'm so excited about the charts that I pulled. I got to pull the threads and figure out if I'm going to stay with the original or if I'm going to tone them down a little bit. I don't know. I originally thought I was going to change them completely, but there's a lot of threads in there. And then I chose to do a little research on colors that represent mental health awareness. So they're right on target. So I'm going to stick with them, I think. I don't even know that I'll tone them down because there's like 25 colors, and doing that many changes is just kind of too much for me, but I do like them. We'll see how I progress through those, and we'll let you know. Of course, you'll be along on the ride for me if you stick around to visit me. But other than that, I have a little bit of haul from Bobby at Pumpkin Creek Primitives. So let me share what I have. I'm going to pop a picture in here. This is a pattern that she has that's called Never Forget. It's a pattern that Bobby designed, and it's a, there's also threads from Forbidden Fiber Co. Yes, that you can get to go along with that if you choose. I missed that in the listing, so I didn't buy them. But this is a donation-based thing. Like, there's a price for the chart, but then it's I think. Now I'm forgetting. But the deal is that you'd have to watch Bobby. She explains it much more better than I do. But it's a Jane Doe discovery fund, basically. So, there's these Jane Does out there, and there's an organization that tries to dig and find, and that takes money to do that. So, again, go watch Bobby. She explains that much better in hers about it, because it's near and dear to her heart. She's really into true crime shows. So am I. I don't read them, and I can't do some of them that are deep, but yeah. So it is definitely something that's near and dear. Now if you hear the cat wagging her tail, there's birds in the backyard because they need food, I guess. All right, so anyway, so other than that, I want to show you what I actually physically got. So with Bobby, you always get a little treat. There's her card. Again, her information is in my description box below. This is inspired because of another Flosstuber, Rachel from Linen and Flax, is doing the Women of, what is it called? You're yelling at me if you watch her, but it's like she's talking about our first ladies, and she's starting with the oldest one and coming new to, but I wanted this Leela Studios chart. Let Freedom Ring. This is a thick chart. This is a huge chart. It is 311 by 238. That house, of course, or this building, of course, is going to be a beast, but I think well worth it in the end. I have a patriotic wall that I put up here, so sorry for the glare, but so the idea is that when I watch Rachel from Linen and Flax, I'm going to stitch on this. So I need to get busy because she's had 2 episodes already. And the inspiration kind of came from watching one of her episodes. She talked about it. You could stitch this, you could stitch that. And I was like, oh, I could stitch this every time. So the fabric that I got from Bobby is a XG Designs 36 count Edinburgh linen called Dirty Brown. And I think that will be perfect for this chart. Love it. So now I got to pull, that's my thread list. Do you see that? All those DMCs, and there's probably 6 specialty threads. So I'm gonna pull that and get that started and be able to stitch on that, because Rachel's videos are like hour and a half long when you stitch those. So it's super fun, and you get some stitching in. You do got to look up, because she shows some really good recommendations on books. But again, Bobby from Pumpkin Creek Primitives is where I got those from. And again, as a reminder, we have future endeavors in the works, so stick around. I am excited about sharing that and doing this with Bobby. So again, Janet Jabber 15 gets you a 15% discount on her pattern. So the other thing I got in the mail this week was my Just Cross Stitch magazine. I know there's people out here that do flip throughs on it, so I will not, but there are a couple of designs in here that are definitely excited about. One of them I recognized right off. You know, when you know your designers, you just know who's their take of like what their style is. So this one right here is Black Princess Stitches the Ukrainian stitcher. And I actually wanted to verify when I saw this one right here, and this is Pansy Patches. I think that's her name. I just recognized both of those style, and I knew who that was kind of cool. I was like, ooh, look at you. All right, another thing I got is a piece of mail from Kendra. I think that's how you say your name, Kendra. She sent me a little card, a thank you card for her winning something. You do not have to do that, but I do appreciate it. And she sent me a piece of floss. So she sent me some Old Money by Classic Colorworks. So beautiful color, and thank you so much for that. I appreciate it, and that will definitely get used. That's a new color to me, so that was kind of exciting. Other than that, that's all the stitching that I have this week. So I hope you have enjoyed and you like what you see. Other than that, I'm going to talk to you about my personal life. So personal life, of course, I had fun at my quilting class last week. It was fun to go and hang out with the ladies. I'm not sure. I got to wait until the schedule comes out for, I think it comes out this week to see for the next 3 months to see if I can get in. It's a hot class to get into, but we'll see. And then of course, this week is a week that I am stitching with Chrissy, my friend. So that's exciting. I love to go to my LNS and just be able to sit and stitch with my friend. And other than that, my plans to, of course, see my little Ozzy. I will, of course, be popping picture in here. She is a joy and a bundle to be around, as you know. You guys, I get so many comments about you can see the love that I have for my granddaughter. I just glow with it. I love that little girl. I love my daughter. I love Colton. They're just present in my life, and it's such a joy to share in their life and to just coexist. I love it. I love it. I do miss that they don't live here, but I also think that they needed their own space. So I'm just rambling. My kids are probably like, Mom, but that's okay. So I hope you all have a wonderful week. If you're experiencing the second winter, bundle up and be ready because the other stuff's coming. I did do some yard work this week. I asked my husband, please, can we please just get the yucky stuff around my peonies and some of the yard work done. So he did do a little bit of that, or we did a little bit of that, which you always get that one nice day on the weekend that like pushes you to want to be outside, and then the week comes back and there's like, yeah. But anyway, I need to cross stitch a pattern with peonies. My peonies have a story. I don't know if I've shared that on here before, but when we moved into this house, we built this house and moved into this house. At my parents' house was some of my grandpa's peonies. So we went over and I don't know if you know this about peonies, but you can split them. So we just shoveled up the two different plants that were there at my parents' house and brought it here. And of course, so for me, that's like my great grandpa's peonies. My grandma used to grow them when I was little. It was like a thing. I mean, the peonies are everywhere, but so for me, it's a thing. Those are my grandma and grandpa's that were at my mom and dad's, and now they're here. And someday when Lizzie and Colton settle somewhere, hopefully they'll take a chunk of them and put them somewhere. I love peonies. I know that they're beautiful flowers, and then all of a sudden they'll like droop, but whatever. For me, it's the family connection. So, all right, I'm totally rambling now. I'm going to get off of here so you can get on to your next floss tube. I hope you have a wonderful week and enjoy life and do your thing. So keep stitching, enjoy life, and I'm sending you so much love. Bye.